pointed out to her and asked her straight away, do you want to be my girlfriend?
Exactly. The universe was like, just trust. It's fine.
And
He's
that
nice.
was the point when I never left her
And
cabin
then
again.
we need a drum roll because now we have a big life update. Like I said, that's going to change the channel forever. It is.
Because...
Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. I'm Kate.
And I'm Jörn, and we bring all kinds of couple content right to you.
That's right. If you like date night ideas, challenges, competitions, travel stuff, then we are the channel for you. So please hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot to us. What are we doing here today?
Today we're going a little bit back in history, because back in our history...
Before the wrinkles came.
Before the wrinkles came, when we were young and fresh.
The gray hairs.
Because we want to tell you a little bit about our history and about how we met. You have an American, you have a German living in Germany, and how did that get together?
That's the number one question whenever we meet people.
Yes.
That's what they want to know. How? So that's what we're going to tell you. And then at the end, stick around because we have a life update that is very exciting that is going to change the channel forever. So please stick around so you can see what that is. Give us back to 2016, Jörn. Really fast.
Once upon a time.
What was 2016 Jörn doing?
I was basically finishing my university time, and there was a friend of mine. He was telling me that he applied as a TV operator on the AIDA cruise ship. AIDA is a German cruise line, so making movies and broadcasting live productions and stuff. And I was like, well, that's exactly what I'm studying, so I want to do that too. So I applied, and that was the way I got into the cruise industry.
2016, Caitlin had just graduated from also studying. I studied theater, and I was doing the audition circuit and working for a dance competition. And by the time May of 2017 came around, I also got a job on AIDA. So when did you embark your first ship?
November 2016.
November 26th. So 6 months later, I was then getting my first contract on AIDA, which was like random German, like he is German working for a German company, but that's the job I got and I took it. And so we spent the next 3 years, both of us on ships, always kind of missing each other. Yeah. Just missing each other. Like I would be on a ship and then like get off, and a week later Jörn would get on for his whole contract.
And
or like
vice versa, a year later.
So we were almost there, but the universe was like, it's not yet time. But then came September.
September 2019.
2019 September.
She embarked on the cruise ship of AIDA Bella. And 1 week later, on the 8th of September, I embarked on the cruise ship of AIDA Bella. So
finally at the same time.
What happened then?
By the 16th, I was sitting in the crew bar, probably playing cards with some friends. I don't remember exactly what I was doing, but I do remember seeing Jörn for the first time, standing at the bar, and he was ordering something. But I was like, he's kind of cute. I think I'm kind of thirsty.
All of a sudden.
I'm really thirsty, guys. You shuffle, and I'm just gonna go grab a next round of drinks. And I just happened to stand right next to you.
Yes. And I have to be fair, in terms of who saw who first or who knew who the other person was, is a little bit unfair in my favor, because I was working as a TV operator and I was broadcasting her shows. And therefore I knew you were a singer and that you were performing.
Yeah, I had no idea who you were.
I'm behind the camera.
I knew you were wearing black, and only certain positions wear black.
Yeah.
So like,
technician.
okay, yeah, technician guy. So I was like, okay, he has to do something behind the scenes, but I don't see the people behind the cameras. You're mostly like in a TV studio. But anyway, I was very thirsty.
So you pulled up to me and
so I was just like, I'm gonna strike up a conversation, see who this person is. And I remember seeing your tattoo, like, cool tattoo, like whatever. And then this is where I almost wrote Jörn off forever in terms of looking at him as a potential suitor, because we were like talking about the tattoo, and I was like, oh, it's really cool, where'd you get it, blah blah blah. And he's like, oh, it's a matching tattoo with my best friend, and she is shorter than me, so when she stands next to me, she got it here and I have it here, so when we're standing next to each other, she got a boat and it like sails to my lighthouse. And I was like, you're in love with this person. And so cool, awesome. It's still a great story, still a great conversation, still happy to know you. Cool, you're my technician.
It works
but
as a conversation starter.
I'm no longer, I think you're in love with your best friend, and good luck with that. Sounds good. And so in that same conversation, we started talking about, we were in Norway the next day and there's a famous ice bar and I was like, oh, I'd like to go. I haven't been there before, but nobody I know wants to go. And you were like, I have friends that want to go, so come with me. So we went together to the outside crew area. You introduced me to some friends and then I ended up going out with those friends. You were working, but I went out with those friends. And that was my first introduction to you and thinking like, okay, cool, we could be good friends or whatever.
When she approached me, my original idea is always like, okay, ensemble, let's see if they are more mingling, more open. But of course, when they approach you, you're first like, oh, cool, a singer wants to talk to me, because that is not very often the case.
A singer wants to talk to me.
Like I said, sometimes you have very open cast groups.
The cast back then, before Corona, spent 6 weeks together in Hamburg. So it's not like we're being closed on purpose. It's just we all know each other already. So you're not in the same mindset of like getting on, like they embark alone and now you're looking for friends. Well, we embark feeling already like we're not as eager, or we don't need to find friends the first day, you know? So not important. We could always do what is it like working on a ship later. But for now, the next step I remember is Copenhagen.
Yes, it was like about 10 days after we first met. Her group of ensemble and my group from the TV team, we both basically together went out onto the pier and wanted to go to the city. But then both teams are like decided to like split. But somebody was more interested of someone from the other group and therefore decided to not.
I do remember though in Copenhagen being like, I'd like to follow Jörn around today.
Like a little stalker.
I still would like to follow him around because I still think he's cool and I think he's cute.
My team was completely German, and sometimes also Germans are a little bit like what I explained about the cast as a group.
They're worse.
They are drama.
They're worse.
Sometimes
they're worse.
Germans are a little bit like also keeping by themselves. Okay, kept by themselves.
Admit it.
And I am not like that, and I'm German, so...
And I'm not like that as an ensemble.
I know, and I explained that.
I've not been like that on any ship.
You keep talking about like they are worse.
Fight me,
not
German.
Everybody is like that. So, yeah, and sometimes when Germans are in a group, they also stay within this group and don't open so much. So, because I want to be a little bit different, I wanted to entertain you a little bit to feel you welcome and included into the group.
Jörn's dad and his sister were on board during this time, visiting him. You included me a lot, which when you hear his thoughts, he was just being nice. But I was like, oh, maybe he's interested in me. Like I interpreted that as like, oh, he's spending extra attention to me, which apparently is not true, but that's okay. Nobody's bitter.
She thought I was very nice and wanted to follow me around. I thought, wow, she's cool. She's a buddy, basically. So no, I mean, like I didn't make put a lot of thought in it. I just was like, she's nice, she's cool, but I didn't focus on anything specific.
The thing is, what you have to say about ships is relationships on the ship, they don't work hardly ever. So I wasn't in the mindset of like, this is my boyfriend. I was just like, he's kind of cute and would be fun to hang out with for the contract. I also wasn't like, I'm marrying this dude or that I want him to be my boyfriend. I was just like, he's kind of cute and seems respectful and I could really use a respectful man around my life on this contract.
For once.
Yes. And so relationships are very hard, and Jörn had already tried that with a different person and it didn't work. And so you're just not in the mindset of looking for something serious anyway. You're just having fun. So it doesn't actually insult me that you were not thinking like that, and I also wasn't thinking super serious about you.
No, not as a steady relationship, but not even like as a contract thing. In my case, I was just like enjoying time with you with no thoughts.
No, I was checking you out to see if I wanted to invite you home.
Yes.
So politely said. And so then there's a farewell party for two of my very good friends. So we were having a very long farewell. I was up, I think, till 5 a.m. saying goodbye to them. Like we were in the crew bar and just like playing music and just up all night. And Jörn was part of that group for a while that night, like hanging out with me. And I felt like you were seeking out me in that case.
Yeah,
I was busy
I remember because like as their farewell, they gave like a little concert in the crew bar and invited the singers to join in. So she was part of the people who joined in and sang with them a little bit. And I remember sitting on the floor watching this mini concert, and I thought like, she's really cool and she is an amazing singer, she's pretty and she's very cool to be with. and therefore I spent more time.
Yeah, that day you were definitely following me.
Yeah, following you around. Yeah.
But then you went to bed way earlier than me. Let's say 1:30 or 2. I remember you leaving, and I remember like waving from far away, like bye, have a good night, and yelling my cabin number to you as a joke. As a joke, 3215. I was like, see you 3215 later. And I honestly can tell you, I meant it as a joke at that point. I was just kind of flirtingly teasing the idea because I knew I was staying up super late and whatever. But
then I went to bed, and around like 2 hours later or something, for some reason, I got up again. I woke up again, and I don't know if you sent me some way through.
I had a message like, I'm finally home now, like going to bed.
Yeah, but just like
see you tomorrow.
Expecting me to sleep and like just to make sure that I know that she's safe and all that. But at that point, out of a sudden, I was awake and texted her like, oh, you're still awake? I am awake too. What's going on?
Anyway, knock knock, Jörn never left my cabin ever again. No. And then the next day my best friend got on board for 2 whole weeks. So when she got on board, I told her, I was like, this nerd.
This like, guy, oh my God,
I don't
what am I
know
supposed to
if
do?
I was like too fast or like ship goggles. Like, I want your opinion because like, I don't know, like he's just a nerd and he's so nice. And I thought that was gross at the time because I was like in a bunch of toxic relationships before that. And I was like, now that he was nice to me, I'm like, I don't know about this. Anyway, fast forward again, 5 days later, Courtney and I are out in Dover and...
England.
Yes, England. And usually there are 600 crew. When you go out onto a port, ports are not huge. You usually see people that you know, or at least crew. Like you can tell that there are other crew throughout the day. But for whatever reason, we saw nobody all day. We spent all day out. We went shopping a little bit. We were at Burger King at some point. I don't know. And then we went to the cliffs of Dover. And all day we had run into no one. And as I'm standing on one cliff, we are gonna take a picture and I hear a laugh. And I said to Courtney, I was like, that sounds like Jörn. And I look down and I can see him like 2 cliffs lower than us taking pictures with his friends, 3 people. So I was like, what the heck? Like of all the people, are you kidding me? Like of all the people, I'm standing in this beautiful cliff looking out at the ocean and I hear Jörn for the first person all day.
And they were like 200, 300 meters away, but I had the same exact experience. Dover, cliffs, we didn't see anyone. And once we got to the cliffs, out of a sudden, I hear a laugh, which was hers. And therefore I was like, is Caitlin here? And then I saw the whole group of her and like on that cliff up there and was like, how in the hell? It's literally right now, right here, they're in the same spot silly. And you hear each other.
Yeah, it's laugh. Silly. It's silly when you're not the ones that it affects it, but it just felt, for me, it just felt like such a sign. The universe was like, just trust. It's fine.
And that was the point when I never left her.
And then from that day, yes, then I invited him back over and literally he never left again. And so, yeah, that would be like October 7th. Still not thinking like this is my boyfriend or something like this, but just like this is going to be a relationship that's okay and maybe healthy and not terrible.
Yeah, a good ship relationship,
yes.
contract partners.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then, fast forward, we're almost done. Fast forward to Halloween. I was the vice president of like the crew council basically. So I'm in charge of helping with parties and things like that. So Halloween obviously is a crew party and I'm in charge of tear down. All of my friends had left. The whole party clears out because they need to leave. And there's like me and the 3 people that are signed up to cleaning up and Jörn. And he stayed with me and helped me. Everyone else left me, even my ensemble who were all best friends and we don't talk to other people. Everybody left me and Jörn helped me the whole night. And that was another moment where I was like, he's very nice. Like, it's very nice. It sounds stupid, but not every man is nice. And he was very nice. He wasn't, when he was drinking, wasn't like looking at other women and trying to go out. He was very nice and showing like loyalty and interest already. So that night I said, how do you feel about being exclusive just for this contract? What I wanted was not to feel worried like come Christmas that he would be like rude and going home with someone else.
Like this woman, so today I'm spending with that woman and tomorrow with you again.
Yeah, and so I wasn't still thinking this is my boyfriend for my life, but I was like, can we agree to be exclusive on the ship? And Jörn said,
Well, I did that. I tried that
Jörn
before,
said?
like she said. Like I said no.
No.
The essence of it, of the point is that I said no.
Jörn said no.
I didn't say just no.
On
I
Halloween.
said I explained that I tried it before and it didn't work, and therefore I'm a little bit scared about it, so I don't want to do it.
But I think the vibe was still that you would be exclusive to me, but I think you were thinking also that I wanted like you were thinking I wanted a relationship that has no end, and I was thinking at the end of the contract it can end.
Which is a story that happens to us a couple times regarding a language barrier, because she explained it that way, which for her was clear, and I understood like, okay, permanent relationship, and was like, hell no.
Yeah, so I got the no. But I was like, you know what, he's still nice. And I did get the vibe that he meant that he wouldn't be rude to me and like leave me towards Christmas, but that he just didn't want to put a label on it or whatever, so fine.
1 week later,
fast forward.
1 week later, we went out together in Muscat, Oman. We went to a park, had like a nice little picnic, we chatted a little bit, and in that point I made up my mind and I thought I want to stay with her. But in this case, I want to stay with her for in a non-temporary, not only contract, but for longer. So I absolutely, clearly and unmisunderstandable pointed out to her and asked her straight away, do you want to be my girlfriend?
Exactly. That's probably what you said. Do you want to be my boyfriend? No.
We had another case of language barrier.
No.
I wasn't sure how I'm supposed to phrase that, and therefore I wanted to know if she wants to be with me permanently.
But even these words would have been clear. I wish so badly that we have this recorded, because in his world, he's saying, will you be my girlfriend for all of eternity? And in my world, he's saying, isn't that thing over there really cool? Yeah, like we should get watermelon smoothies. No idea.
Isn't that clear?
I had no idea that this was even a topic of the day.
And I said no a week ago, and on this day, she said nothing, because apparently she didn't know what I meant.
Because there was no question.
There was no question, and therefore she just like kept talking and then eventually like changed the subject, and I was just
in
like,
his mind
okay.
I changed the subject, but in my mind I'm probably just keeping whatever subject I thought was happening.
And I was just like, okay, weird, but sure, then maybe she doesn't want to talk about it, because 1 week earlier I was kind of rude to her and said no, and therefore we kept going on the date and
we had
like
a whole
lunch.
date together still the rest of the day. Everything, he just felt awkward and was like, I'm not going to bring that up again. And
we
I
went back
had
to the
no
ship,
idea.
Went to work, and eventually in the
Back
night
in the
when
cabin.
we got back to the cabin, we just talked a little bit, and I just mentioned like, well, apparently you just don't want to be together with me anyway.
And I was like,
and she was like, what?
Hello?
What
I was
do you
like,
mean?
I said, I asked you last week, bitch.
And I
what
just
do you
said
mean?
like, I mean, I asked you today, and you didn't say anything. And at that point it was like, wait a second.
And I'm like, Jörn, in what world do you ask somebody a question and they just don't say anything to you, and you're just like, okay.
Well, I'm a very shy boy.
So then I said, do it properly.
Do it properly. Then I did it properly. I got off the bed, got down on one knee, and asked her, Caitlin Marie Lasowski, do you want to be my girlfriend? Mm-hmm. And what did you say?
I said, why not?
Why not?
Because at this point, he deserved that.
Yeah, probably, kind of. That was the point, to be exclusive and be boyfriend and girlfriend.
And not till the end of the contract.
And not till the end of the contract.
And that's where today's story ends.
Yes.
Our relationship gets wilder after that, because literally 4 months later
comes
hit. Corona. And we have different passports and blah, blah. So that could be a totally different video about quarantine and everything like that. Yes, but for now, that is the long story
of how an American and German somewhere on the 7 seas of the world get to meet and get to stay together.
Yes, so now we have our big announcement.
What is the bridge to what we want to say now?
We need a drum roll, because now we have a big life update. Like I said, that's going to change the channel forever. It is
because
we're going back to the ship. We didn't plan that, obviously. We're going back to the ship.
Yes.
It's been
4.5 years.
4.5 years since we were on the ship. He disembarked in May 2020. I disembarked in February 2020. And
we didn't get to do that at all because of Corona and all that stuff.
no, and
Different
then
story, like we said.
we got married. I have my visa in Germany. Like many things have happened. But we finally got contracts together where we can go together, which means this channel is going to continue to do things like date nights, competitions, challenges, travel.
But
the travel's gonna start coming up a little bit more.
And of course, we want to introduce you a little bit to how ship life works.
As crew, yeah.
As crew.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there will be now videos about rehearsal process for us. What's a day in the life like? What's a weekly like? What's a sea day like? I don't know, anything. And you'll be able to ask us all the questions that you ever wondered about crew and follow along on the journey. So we're about to, date nights, couples competitions and challenges, and travel and ship life are about to come infiltrate the channel much more, which is cool. Yeah, so we're so excited.
Those are our updates for now. So
I'll be singing again. He's still doing TV, so same like we did before.
Exactly.
But now together as a married couple, and both of us in our 30s, so
maybe we're too old for that.
The impression might be different than what it was when we were 25.
A whole episode of crew life for over 30s.
Crew life for the oldies.
Oh my God.
Exactly. We're very excited.
Yes.
So please come along for the journey. And if you have anybody that you know that's also crew or wants to be crew or something like that, then start to send them our channel because we are about to have lots of answers for you.
Exactly. We hope you liked this episode. Like, subscribe, and share it to your friends. And we hope to see you in the next video and all the following ahead with a lot of changes.
That's right.
See you there.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.